Class, stand. Gentlemen, remove your hats. Gentlemen, replace hats. Class, be seated.
Dignitaries from our state and local governments, invited guests, friends, parents, and members of the class of 2005. Welcome to the Chelmsford High School graduation ceremony for the year 2005. At graduation ceremonies across the country during recent weeks, speakers have told graduates something similar to this. You have spent the last 4 years at Chelmsford High School. You have been fortunate enough to have grown up in a town that cares about its young people and has provided you with a quality education. There is clear evidence this day. With us today are selectmen, representatives, school committee members, former teachers, principals. We're all here today to celebrate with you. You have been taught by an intelligent, well-educated faculty and have learned on the playing fields, on the stage, while traveling throughout the world, while providing a wide variety of services to your community and in the classroom. Your accomplishments are numerous. You have won Merrimack Valley Conference sectional and state championships. You have prevailed in mock trial competition. You have won medals and trophies while performing with a variety of school musical groups. You have created works of art worthy of Boston Globe recognition. You have produced outstanding newspapers and yearbooks. You have won national merit recognition, Koplik certificates of mastery, John and Abigail Adams scholarships. You've been on our dean's list, our honor roll, and our high honor roll. You've been inducted into our national Spanish, French, Latin, and Tri-M honor societies. Those graduation speakers often go on to explain that the graduates are well prepared to face the world. They are told that they will be successful in college, the military, and the world of work. I'm telling you that you have received a fine education and that you can compete with graduates from anywhere in the world. However, I have another message. I can't begin to guess what that world will be like for much of your lives. The world is changing much too fast. In preparing for this speech, I consulted one of my favorite reference books, Uncle John's Biggest Ever Bathroom Reader. I found a comparison between the Wright brothers' flight on December 17, 1903 in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and the Apollo 11 flight that started at Cape Kennedy, Florida, and lasted from July 16th through July 24th, 1969. In 66 years, tremendous change took place. The Wright brothers' flight cost less than $1,000. Apollo 11 cost either $355 or $375 million, depending on whose figures you want to use. The flight at Kitty Hawk lasted 12 seconds. The flight of Apollo 11 lasted 195 hours, 19 minutes, and 36 seconds. The Wright brothers' flight reached an altitude of 15 feet. Apollo 11 soared 242,000 statute or 210,000 nautical miles above the Earth. The flight at Kitty Hawk went 120 feet. Apollo 11 traveled 952,700 miles and 363 feet. The fuel weight for the flight in 1903 was 3 pounds, 3 ounces. The fuel weight in 1969 was 6.6 million pounds. The craft at Kitty Hawk weighed 605 pounds. Apollo 11 weighed 6.4 million pounds. I think you get the point. There were 66 years between the two events, but the changes are almost beyond comprehension. So you are well prepared to start your post-high school years. But as changes take place at a faster and faster rate, you will face serious challenges. No matter how fast the world changes, though, and if you may be apprehensive or afraid of the unknown, take a deep breath and know that you will be all right. Take comfort in knowing that you will be ready for that unknown new world if you learn the following while preparing to pass the MCAS, the SAT, AP, and other tests. Speak clearly, work hard, write well, and be positive as you do those 3 things. Be a good friend. Create rather than destroy. Mediate conflicts and treasure peace. Appreciate beauty, not just the beauty of appearance, but the beauty of soul. And perhaps more important than all of those, know how to love and to be loved. Those of us at Chelmsford High School are proud of you and what you have accomplished. And we know that the new unknown world of the future will be a better place because you will be in it. Thank you for your last 4 years. We at Chelmsford High School will miss you. It's now my pleasure to introduce Aaron Reardon, who will present our salutatorian. Aaron.
Hello. Helen first came into my life 2 years ago on my first day at Chelmsford High School. Stopping in at a poetry club meeting, I saw her in front of the classroom reading her poem titled Failures. She spoke slowly and articulately, forcefully dropping each phrase into the air as though it was a dare. Failure, according to her poem, taught each person just as much as success, for imperfections left room for growth. Her poem was compassionate, encouraging, and wise. As the cliche goes, actions speak louder than words, and over the years, I have seen Helen live out the advice of her poem. Her compassion and hope for what others consider worthless expresses itself daily, sometimes in large ways, founding a Trash for Treasure program, but also in small acts of kindness. Despite all the intellectual success Helen has had, she also has the gift of a beautiful heart. While some students accept whatever the teacher throws at them, Helen always takes the time to fully understand the concepts at hand. If she isn't satisfied with the response, she asks deeper questions. And if the teacher can't find the answer, she finds the answer in her own time. A free thinker, she never fears a deeper truth and is willing to do whatever is necessary to comprehend what is at hand. With her depth, determination, and intelligence, I wouldn't be surprised to hear that she had unraveled the kinks in the string theory. I am now pleased to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2005, Helen Yu.
Thank you, Erin. That was very nice. Parents, friends, honored guests, and members of the class of 2005. First, I would like to thank my family for being unbelievably supportive of me through all the ups and downs, for putting up with me for 17 years. I would also like to thank all of my teachers for their hard work and excellent teaching, my guidance counselor for her tremendous help, and the deans and principal for their support as well. We have gained so much knowledge and wisdom through experiences both in and out of the classroom in just 4 years. But most importantly, we have made it through high school and succeeded together as the class of 2005. We have traveled a rough road to get this far, but a rougher road lies ahead. I know all of us will take that road and ultimately succeed. But success is inevitably preceded by failure, and lots of it. All of us have earned well-deserved success at some point during high school. For each success and accomplishment, there is a long list of failures. In my mind, our failures are more important than our successes. When one succeeds, one gets a plaque, but when one fails, one learns something from that experience, from that failure, and retains that knowledge. I have come to believe that one must fail in order to succeed. Life is full of chance and unpredictability. At times, we will cruise through life easily, and other times, we may be caught in situations that we don't want to be in. That is what makes life interesting and worth living. Life is about making decisions. Recently, we all made important decisions regarding what colleges we'll be attending and our plans after high school. For the rest of our lives, we will be making more decisions, big and small. Some decisions will have favorable outcomes, and some will not. One should not be afraid of bad decisions and mistakes, but instead look to them as ways to learn and grow. I've made plenty of mistakes, and I'm glad I made every single one of them, because I'm now a stronger, more aware, and better person than I was 4 years ago. And I look forward to making many more mistakes, to learning and growing in life. Sometime during the past 4 years, I've realized that ignorance is the cause of distrust and hatred. It is hard to appreciate someone when you are ignorant of that person's abilities, background, and character. Once you get to really know someone, you break that barrier and erase all feelings of distrust. So reach out, talk to someone you don't usually talk to, make a new friend. I think you will find that everyone has something to offer and that it will enrich your life. Standing up here right now and looking at our entire graduating class is a spectacular sight. It is a symbol of our accomplishments, as well as our potential. I see a new generation of teachers, doctors, authors, scientists, lawyers, musicians, and politicians among the crowd of talented people sitting in front of me. No matter where life takes us, we will always be the class of 2005. Thanks for making me proud to be a member of a truly wonderful class and for a meaningful 4 years. Good luck to all of you. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to invite James Rashad, President of the Class of 2005, to the podium. James.
It's now time for the presentation of the class gift. To show our gratitude for the help of the Chelmsford High and all its faculty in our success, we are donating $2,500 to the construction of the new auditorium. Will Mr. Thomas please join me at the podium?
Thank you very much. On behalf of the staff and students at Chelmsford High School, I'm pleased to accept this money. The idea is that when the auditorium is finally built right over there in the near future, there may be some things that we'll need to just make it extra special, and that money will go toward that. So I'm really pleased about it. Thank you very much.
Would Kate Knowles, president of the class of 2006, please join me at the podium? Kate, please accept this gavel from the class of 2005. It's a symbol of your authority as class president and the responsibility to carry on the great tradition of Chelmsford High School. Please accept our congratulations as the class becomes seniors and assumes the mantle of leadership. Congratulations. There you go.
Thank you, James. I would like to accept this gavel on behalf of the class of 2006, which I'm so fortunate to represent. As a class, we will strive to make our senior year as prosperous and successful as the class of 2005 has demonstrated is possible. Your work ethic and dedication has set a high bar for 2006, but by following your traditions and keeping you in our hearts, we hope that our teachers, parents, and peers will be as proud of us as they are of you. Thank you for this inspiration, and thank you for this gavel.
I would now like to invite to the podium Dr. Richard H. Mosier, Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you very much. I'd like to begin by offering my own personal congratulations to the class of 2005. Almost every speaker, or every speaker so far, has commented on your abilities and your talents and your potential, and I most certainly see that as well as your superintendent. So for my administration and all the faculty that are not here and those that are here, I wish you well and invite you to come back and tell us about your future achievements. The other thing I would like to say before I do my traditional role of introducing the speaker, this is a little unusual this year, and I'd like to compliment Al Thomas and the high school administration. This is the first year that administrators and educators from middle school and elementary school have been invited to walk and be a part of the procession. That's a very powerful thought to me because I personally know that there are about 700 employees in the Chelmsford schools between custodians and secretaries and PSPs and teachers and administrators. And you may believe, and you certainly have the right to believe, that you're graduating from Chelmsford High School, but we also believe that you're graduating from the Chelmsford School Department. And the fact that we have our elementary and middle school administrators today, I think, signifies that everybody has a commitment to your education from the very beginning. So it's a pleasure to have others participate and to enjoy and celebrate in your achievement. My traditional role, and I enjoy my traditional role of introducing the guest speaker, I have that opportunity again this year, and I'm most pleased to introduce, for the second time actually, George Simonian. We have a reception before this ceremony every graduation day, and I had the opportunity to ask George, is there anything that you would like me to say about you as I introduce you? And in kind of a quiet, modest voice, he said, just say, here's Simonian. Well, I can't quite do that. On the rare chance that there's at least 4 or 5 people here that may not know Mr. Simonian, I would like to share a little bit with you about his background and his commitment, thorough commitment to the Chelmsford schools and the Chelmsford community. George Simonian, like many people here today, grew up in this area, Middlesex County area, Middlesex Valley, Merrimack Valley. He grew up in Lowell, went to the Lowell High School, graduated in 1945. And not by surprise, I've learned that George was a very active high school student. He was very involved in the science club, track team. He was an Eagle Scout. And he spent many times working with various organizations and clubs. So it's not a surprise that when he became Chelmsford principal and when he came to Chelmsford in 1957, that was kind of the philosophy of this school, is to get people more involved, and that's how you learn. So I think George is a great example of that, and I suspect that his speech may make some similar comments. George has several advanced degrees. He has a Bachelor of Science degree from Trinity College, a master's degree from Boston University in Science Education, and he has several advanced graduate study certificates and courses that he's taken in administration and others from Amherst College, University of Colorado, Salem State, Harvard, and others. George has a very significant background in the military from 1952 through 1962. He was part of the U.S. Air Force and earned the rank of Captain of the U.S. Air Force. His professional career in education began in probably about 1954 when he started substituting for the Lowell Public Schools. He's been a teacher with the Peekskill, New York public school system and came to us in Chelmsford in 1957 as a biology teacher, came as dean of the science department or department head for the science department and the athletic director. He spent a considerable amount of time before coming principal in getting involved in the curriculum and trying to arrange and develop experiences for kids. He was the coordinator of science from 1965 to 69, and he was the first director of curriculum for the Chelmsford High School from 1969 to 1972. In 1973, it was not by chance that George was selected principal of Chelmsford High School. He spent 15 years developing a program, developing a philosophy, nurturing a way in which we should help young people like you become wonderful human beings. And I don't think you can walk anywhere around Chelmsford High School and not find that it's been touched in some way by George Simonian. George is not only has a wonderful commitment to Chelmsford High School, but he has a long experience in committing to the Chelmsford community as well. He's been a Rotarian in town, was a part of the finance committee for a period of years, very committed to the Armenian Church, devotes significant hours helping his local church, has worked directly with the disabled American veterans for the number of years. And I think where I know George the best is when he co-founded and has been the executive director of the Alumni Association, an organization that I think has a significant impact on the quality of education in Chelmsford High School and throughout the Chelmsford schools. George also, through the Alumni Association, was the initiator and the developer of the Hall of Fame. I think this has been a wonderful experience. It's been almost the full time that I've been here as your superintendent. It's given me a personal sense of where everybody goes when you do graduate. Where you go is you go out into the world and you become extremely successful, whether that's in college or in military or in work. And it's been a great pleasure to watch our graduates come back as Hall of Fame members and recognize that the experiences you've had here in Chelmsford have really borne fruit. So we thank George for all of that. George is a family man. If you know George Simonian, you know Lucy. He has 2 daughters, Lucianne and Elisa, and a son, Kirk, and 3 grandchildren, Maggie, Ellie, and Zachary. George is an outstanding contributor to Chelmsford and the Chelmsford Public Schools. Please help me welcome George Simonian.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Moser. Members of the class of 2005, Mrs. Thoren, Dr. Moser, Mr. Thomas, Mr. Battle, Mr. Doherty, Ms. O'Brien, Mrs. Shanahan, Principal Emeritus Mr. Meidel, faculty, parents, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start with my message, I would like to thank this fine group of young men and women for inviting me to be their graduation speaker. This is an honor that I will always remember, and I thank you for that. Tonight, I would like to talk about the past and then about the future, because they are related. One ties to the other. I first came to work at Chelmsford High School way back in March of 1957. That's a long time ago. And it didn't take too long for me to realize that CHS was something very special. And it is very special. What makes it special? What is Chelmsford High School anyway? Chelmsford High School is basically three things. It is a building, it is people, and it is tradition. The first consolidated Chelmsford High School opened its doors in 1917. That Chelmsford High School was on Billerica Road, and it served as a high school until 1959. That building is now the town offices. I would venture to say that there are probably some folks here tonight that went to that Chelmsford High School. Then from 1959 to 1974, Chelmsford High School was on North Road. We now call that building the McCarthy Middle School. I would also venture to say that there are many people who are here tonight that went to that Chelmsford High School as students, and many are here tonight who were teachers at that Chelmsford High School. And then in 1974, a new Chelmsford High School came on the scene, the present high school, that one over there. I guess I'm probably one of the very few left that worked in all three of those schools. I'm old. Chelmsford High School is also people, all kinds of people. Teachers, nurses, administrators, custodians, food service workers, guidance counselors, secretaries, support personnel, librarians, specialists, but above all, students. Everyone working together to create an educational environment that's alive with learning through the classrooms, social, athletic, and extracurricular activities. People called Chelmsford High School make that all happen. Chelmsford High School is also tradition. Tradition for excellence, tradition for success, tradition for giving. All of the programs and all of the people involved in those programs have one goal in mind: provide the absolute best in time, in materials, and in knowledge. Back in my day, any new program would not get started unless I could be assured that everything was going to be done in order that that program excel. And that philosophy still holds today. For years, Chelmsford High School has set the standard high, and I fervently hope that that tradition continues. Excellence breeds excellence. Success breeds success. Not only are all of the educational programs highly successful, but all of the individuals involved in each and every one of those programs enjoys success. And that success follows you into the future. Over the years, I've had the good fortune of hearing about and following the careers of many of our alumni. All success stories. Let me mention just a few of them. Astrophysicists, corporate lawyers, stonemasons, oncologists, college professors, environmentalists, town clerks, university presidents, building contractors, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, firefighters, brain surgeons, military leaders, classroom teachers and administrators, nurses, bankers, Broadway stage performers, inventors, research scientists, playwrights, Hollywood personnel, computer technology pioneers, journalists, writers, poets, artists, primetime television performers, every type of engineer conceivable, space shuttle launch officers, elected officials, clergymen, public servants, police officers, and thousands upon thousands of highly successful, honest-to-goodness citizens, all from Chelmsford High School. The tradition of giving is alive and healthy at CHS. Community service, outreach to the senior citizens, blood mobiles, Santa drives, Staff Appreciation Day, Spirit Week, the Thomas Jefferson Forum, fundraising for this or for that, all in the name of giving back. The president of the class of 1974, Bill Cohane, had a vision of establishing a Chelmsford High School Alumni Association, and in 1989, with the help of a group of alumni and a retired old principal, the association got its start. Its major purpose is to foster a spirit of fellowship and affiliation among the alumni, to unify more closely the alumni by class, to promote alumni activities, and to develop a spirit of cooperation between the association and the high school. In 16 short years, the association has over 1,800 dues-paying members from all over the world. The association publishes a news magazine 3 times a year that keeps members abreast of all alumni association activities, all class activities, and current high school activities. The association established the Hall of Fame in 1991 to honor alumni who have excelled while in high school and or in their profession and or in their community, and also former high school teachers and administrators who created and promoted excellence while at Chelmsford High School. To this day, 135 most worthy individuals have been inducted, and there are literally hundreds more out there that will be inducted in the future, and hopefully many from this very class. The Alumni Association's endowment fund has grown steadily with generous contributions from alumni remembering loved ones, alumni remembering classmates, graduating classes since 1994, giving back in the form of scholarships to help future alumni with college expenses. Last month, the association awarded, or better yet, gave back $38,000 in the form of scholarships to this class and to recent graduates. Again, all in the name of giving back. Alumni coming back to CHS to teach and to be head coaches. Jim Durkin, class of 1967. Jack Fletcher, class of 1968. Cynthia Judge Sandholm, class of 1969. Sandy Johnson Taylor, class of 1969. Donna Upton Foley, class of 1970. Cheryl Dapple Zeba, class of 1970. Ann O'Sullivan O'Brien, class of 1971. Bruce Rich, class of 1973. Debbie Haywood, class of 1974. Carol Lee Clark Collins, class of 1979. Joan Amaralt Murphy, class of 1979. Leah Dinnigan Gaffney, class of 1982. Charlie Mickle, class of 1983. Bob Russo, class of 1983. Tommy Gallagher, class of 1987. Mike Marshall, class of 1987. Mike O'Keefe, class of 1987. Dave Scaplin, class of 1987. Maura Devaney, class of 1988. Mark Branco, class of 1989. John Pecora, class of 89. Christina Cantado, class of 1990. Scott Robillard, class of 1990. Josh Blagg, class of 1991. Jennifer Therian Sweet, one of your class advisors, class of 1991. Kevin Branco, class of 1992. Sharon Cobry, another one of your class advisors, class of 1992. Angela Rapone Parks, class of 1992. Andy Shoup, class of 1992. Jennifer Ferrin Doak, class of 1993. Erica Meidel, class of 1997. Jonathan Morris, class of 1998. Nina Pelly, class of 1999. Eli Gombakis, class of 2000. This is also called giving back. And it's been going on since I can remember, and it's such a beautiful tradition. So, Chelmsford High School is a building, it is people, and it is tradition. For the past 4 years, you have walked the halls, studied in the classrooms, played in the gymnasium and on the athletic fields, read and studied in the library, ate and socialized in the dining rooms, all in a building called Chelmsford High School. For the past 4 years, you as individuals and as a group have been Chelmsford High School. And for the past 4 years, you have contributed to and enhanced the traditions that are Chelmsford High School. And what could be better than that? So where do we go from here? We move right into the future, your future. Chelmsford High School has prepared you well, but your future is in your hands. Most of you will be continuing your education. Others will enter the world of work. Some will pursue the military. But whatever path you follow into the future, I am sure that your professional and occupational life will be very successful. But what about your personal life? Allow me to make some suggestions. Don't live your life alone. Don't be a closet case. Be with people you love and with people that love you. Write a letter, make a phone call, send an email, hug a friend, kiss your mom, tell your father he's the greatest. Be good to this planet. Conserve, recycle, respect it. It's the only one we have, and it's the human thing to do. Be good to your community, whether it's Chelmsford or wherever you settle. Get involved, volunteer, work in a soup kitchen or a shelter. Be a big brother, be a big sister. Run for public office. Be a participant, not a bystander. Be good to your family, your present one, and then to your future one. Be good to your kids. They are going to need your love, your time, your good ear, your respect, and your understanding. Be good to yourselves. Respect your mind and your body. It's the only one you get. Take good care of it. At Chelmsford High School, you learned in the classroom. Out there, the classroom is everywhere. Keep your eyes and your ears open and enjoy every minute. So in closing, I would like to wish all of you much success, good health, and an abundance of happiness. This has been an extreme pleasure for me to be here, and I thank you all for that. Thank you so much. May God bless you all. Thank you, class of 2005.
Go ahead. James, would you join me at the podium? It's my sincere pleasure, along with James, to present to Mr. Simonian the first diploma of the day, which makes him an honorary member of the class of 2005. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
James, you're on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Simonian. Today marks the end of a chapter in our lives. Today, we graduate from high school. As you sit here in front of me, you are one step closer to your future goals and dreams. Over the last 18 years, we have been influenced by our parents and teachers, telling us when to wake up, when to do our work, what to eat, when to be home, and so on. We may not always have listened, of course, but we were influenced. Starting now, we begin to make our own choices. Starting now, we are granted freedom. A whole new world of personal choice awaits us. However, with freedom comes responsibility. Luckily, we have many role models in our lives that have worked to prepare us for this new independence. To our parents, it's only fair that we talk about you first, considering that you've had to deal with us the longest. We can't say thank you enough for all that you have given us. You've guided us through simple tasks such as tying our shoes, and you've been there to help us with the more challenging issues, dating and public speaking. You've been there for us as coaches. You've been our personal taxi service and have opened your homes as teenage bed and breakfasts. You've volunteered at the school and in the town. You've shown us through your actions what it means to be part of a community. You have always been there to help us succeed and prepare us for life. For the love you have shown, we will forever be grateful. To the faculty, our parents away from home. 10 years from now, I might not remember a thing about Puritan literature, but I will remember the love and dedication of our faculty. A few weeks ago, Mr. Pasquale was asked why a man with his genius IQ settled with a job as a high school math teacher. His answer was pretty simple. He said, "I love to teach. I love what I do." I think this feeling is shared by almost all of the CHS faculty. The people in this building have given us nothing but their best. You have given us the tools that we will carry with us onto our next adventure. You can trust that your help and caring will continue to shape our lives beyond the CHS classroom. To my classmates, We've spent the last 4 years creating unforgettable memories. From the Friday night football games, the 24-hour relays, student-run plays, to this year's Mr. CHS. We have been involved. We've joined clubs and teams, academic, athletic, and social. We've played and we've coached. We've followed, and we have become leaders at Chelmsford High School. Unfortunately, our days of wandering into A block half asleep and praying for chicken parm for lunch are over. Now it's on to the real world. The time has come for bigger and better things, or at least that's what everyone keeps telling us. I think I can speak for most of us by saying we're pretty scared, leaving an environment where we have grown to be comfortable, sheltered, and safe. Most likely, this is the last time that every one of us will be together as a class of 2005. Today is our commencement, our beginning. Yes, there are a lot of things that will be left behind, but they can't compare to the new things that await us. Today is a day to look forward to our dreams and not our fears, confident that we will have the power to make those dreams a reality. Remember the impact that you have had here at Chelmsford High. Remember the great work you have done, the accomplishments and contributions that you have made. Remember the laughs, the parties, the prom, the after-prom parties. These are the memories that we should hold on to. Thank you all, and stay in touch.
I would like to invite Danielle Walsh to the podium to introduce our valedictorian. Danielle.
If I had to think of one word to describe Betsy, it would be remarkable. Betsy is remarkable in every possible way. Clearly, she is a remarkable student. I can assure you that she is a remarkable friend, and above all, she is a remarkable human being. For a long time, I thought that Betsy was perfect, and time has revealed that she is very nearly so. She's proved that great things come in small packages. As a mutual friend pointed out when I mentioned that I'd be introducing Betsy, it certainly isn't hard to gush about Betsy Lee. But in the interest of time, let me just say that the best introduction for Betsy can only be given by Betsy herself. So I encourage all of you to listen carefully to what she has to say. You never know when you will meet someone as wise and well-spoken again. So without any further ado, it is my pleasure to present to you your valedictorian, Betsy Lee.
Thank you, Danny, for that wonderful introduction. Graduation has many facets. It means something different for each one of us. Some of you are glad high school is over. You can't wait to leap off the stage with a little click of your heels and with your diploma in hand. You're finally free to set off on your own. High school, it's in the past, and you look to the dawning future. For others, this is a more saddening occasion. Many of you don't want to finish writing this chapter of your lives, for what you have recorded will leave an everlasting imprint on your heart. You lock away rosy memories as the sun sets on your time here. But regardless of whether you look forward or back, whether your memories bring smiles or tears, our 4 years here at Chelmsford High School have, nevertheless, been unforgettable. We entered as smart-mouthed, unknowledgeable freshmen, but we stand here today, our last day, as sage and learned seniors. We've all learned a lot, whether those lessons be in school or in life. We've learned how to navigate the congested hallways of CHS, and we've honed our reflexes to avoid being bruised by massive backpacks as we maneuver our way through. We've learned that last-minute cramming may yield surprisingly decent results in some classes, but that it definitely doesn't work for the SATs. We've learned to avoid the girls' bathrooms if we have asthma, and if we want to stay dry, we know to avoid the business wing after a heavy rain. We've perfected the art of speed writing as we race to jot down notes in Mr. Lemire's history class. and we've learned to decipher, with varying degrees of success, Mr. Sherwood's handwriting and Mr. Caminos's too. And of course, we learned to read and write and count, and sometimes do all of those relatively well. But there are yet more treasure troves of knowledge. We have learned what friendship is, what loyalty is, and we've learned the depth or shallowness of both. We know there are people there to pick us up when we fall, who rally to our side when hope has flickered out. Some teachers, we have discovered, are more like friends, and some friends are more like family. We've learned the worth of perseverance and diligence, and we have learned life isn't always fair, but we've learned not to compromise our values. Yes, we have learned a lot, and this is the knowledge we will carry with us wherever we head off to. For, in the words of Orrin Hatch, today is both an end and a beginning. Former President Clinton once said that the spark of possibility burns deep within each person, that ordinary people can do extraordinary things, and I have no doubt each of you will make an unforgettable impression on the world. For as I look out at all of you, I see more than simply ordinary people. In our midst are nationally acclaimed scholars, brilliant scientists, athletic champions, and honored musicians. But more tellingly, I see future presidents, Academy Award winners, Broadway stars, and Nobel Prize winners. We have accumulated a wealth of knowledge here, but it is up to you to draw on that and truly shine. Much deserved thanks goes to our teachers, deans, and Mr. Thomas, for without them we would not have learned nearly as much as we have. Thank you for keeping us in line, for being wonderful mentors, and for showing us the path to our destinies. Families and friends, you provide more inspiration and support than we acknowledge. You have helped mold us into who we are today, and it is upon your shoulders we stand as we learn. And finally, class of 2005. It has been a hard road to where we are right now, with plenty of detours for life's lessons. We have learned and experienced so much together, and I look forward to hearing about the extraordinary things I'm sure you all will achieve. As we leave this high school and this town, keep in mind the words of Abraham Lincoln, who said, "I am not bound to win, but I am bound to be true. I am not bound to succeed, but I am bound to live up to what light I have." I see the spark of possibility within each of you, the potential for great things, and I ask that you use what you have learned here to achieve it. Class of 2005, it is the greatest privilege to be graduating with you today. Thanks.
As we prepare to confer the diplomas, I would like to invite Evelyn Thorin, Chair of the Chelmsford School Committee, to address us. Thank you very much.
Good evening. It is with great pride that the Chelmsford School Committee congratulates the class of 2005. In about 5 minutes, you will receive your diplomas. It is a personal privilege to share a few brief, and I do mean brief, words with you. This is the last speech that you will hear before you get your diploma. The Chelmsford Public Schools are committed to educating the whole person through academics, music, arts, intramural events, clubs, and athletics. Thousands of hours of commitment, planning, and devotion of teachers and family members were necessary for you to reach this day. Countless hours of study and attending classes were required of you to be here, and so here you are. Nelson Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world." And he was right. Today we celebrate your achievements. Today is the pinnacle of years of acquiring technical and academic skills that will be with you for the rest of your life. But more importantly, you have learned how to learn. And that is your most powerful skill for a lifetime of successes. Class of 2005, you didn't get here by yourself. Previous speakers pointed to parents, family members, friends, that special person or persons in your life, the staff of the Chelmsford schools and leadership. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to stand and give them a round of applause at this point, please. Please stand and clap to those and applaud those that helped you get to this point. Thank you. You may be seated. You are the future of our country. Your parents and their parents know that freedom isn't free. Robert F. Kennedy once said, "Few will have the greatness to bend history itself, but each of us can work to change a small portion of events. And in the total of all those acts will be written the history of this generation." So in conclusion, I want you to know that everything you need to know about life, you could learn from Noah's Ark. And considering how much rain we've had lately, it is an appropriate. So first, don't miss the boat. Plan ahead. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. Stay fit. When you're 600 years old, someone may ask you to do something really big. Don't listen to critics, just get the job done. Build your future on high ground. For safety's sake, travel in pairs. Speed isn't always an advantage. The snails were on board next to the cheetahs. When you're really stressed, float a while. Remember, the Ark was built by amateurs and the Titanic by professionals. Remember, we are all in the same boat together. And finally, no matter how terrible the storm, there is always a rainbow waiting. And one last thought from the heart of a parent, teacher, and school committee member. You can never say thank you too often, or I love you too much. So take your thank yous and I love yous with you today and use them generously. Class of 2005, Chelmsford will always be your home. God bless you as you start the next adventure in your life.
We move this?
Which side we starting on? That side. I guess I cut that one in. Yes.
Cooled off pretty well.
Megan Marie Bagney. Rachel Marie Bessanen. Elizabeth Jane Black. Monica Bukowitz. Melissa Cecilia Carr. Melissa Hen Yu Chow. Rachel Louise Chapman. Jenna Lee Cosette. Candace Mary Kuchar. Megan Suzanne Curran. Peggy Lynn Belleville Decker. Danielle Suzanne Donegan. Colleen Emily Ferry. Andrea Mary Fletcher. Amanda Catherine Fors. Jen Lynn Fury. Nicole Marie Gahan. Lauren Margaret Gauthier. Taylor Jean Gibson. Alexandria Lillian Gist. Lindsay Lee Gormley. Nicole Jeanette Goulet. Amanda Jane Hibbard. Gwendolyn Yvonne Hoffman. Lauren Francis Joyce. Hildy Karpowicz. Jennifer Lee Kay. Becky Louise Lawrence. Elizabeth Catherine Lee. Kristen Julia Leslie. Nicole Alexandra Lucas. Amanda Suzanne Makia. Sarah Catherine Madden. Megan Lee Mann. Victoria Lynn Mathai. Margaret Mary McGrath. Yep. Shannon Maria McNulty.
Let it come a little bit further.
Sure. Christine Minutolo. Rebecca Ann Murphy. Amy Elizabeth Musgrave. Lauren Mary Nelson. Casey Coggins O'Keefe. Sarah Ann Orr. Jessica Rourke Parker. Caitlin Nicole Parsons. Emily Patricia Patterson. Julia Marie Pelosi. Kelly Jean Purpura. Jennifer Susan Rosa.
Matt, you can pick it up just a little bit.
Kirsty Natasha Sawyer. Rachel Christina Sheehan. Catherine Elizabeth Sherman. Kayla Nicole Simard. Aubrey McGee Sparks. Sarah Ann Spellacy. Samantha Ann Marie Stevens. Megan Elizabeth Sullivan. Vivian Tang. Caitlin Elizabeth Turo. Alyssa Blair Villarreal. Erin Rachel Vinoski. Courtney Elizabeth Walsh. Caitlin Autumn Ward. Holly Amber Wolte. Helen Yu. Rebecca Maureen Barden. Kayla Ann Blake. Kira Catherine Bommingen. Lisa Marie Brown. Caitlin Marie Bryant. Amanda Catherine Campbell. Erin Kate Commons. Nicole Ann Compagnon. Amanda Alicia Cowie. Caitlin Lee Cutter. Melanie Ann Durrett. Brianna Elizabeth Emerson. Elizabeth Fay. Christina Maria Gallant. Christine Amanda Gill. Michelle Lee Gray. Jennifer Lynn Hanlon. Heather Johnson. Crystal Judith Jolliker. Caitlin Elizabeth Landry. Sarah Annette Lawrence. Courtney Ann Lemire. Caitlin Elizabeth Motti. Denise Elizabeth McClure. Megan Suzanne Murphy. Sarah Ann Murphy. Brooke Jenna Newell. Jennifer Ann O'Rourke. Courtney Austin Page. Michaela Geraldine Panisetti. Lindsay Marie Parker. Purvi Ashwin Patel. Amy Jean Patno. Nicole Ann Penny. Kyla Jenny Pertel. Catherine Alicia Quinn. Kate Marie Reedy. Erin Elizabeth Reardon. Samantha Jolene Rowe. Catherine Rachel Solowski. Somniang San. Holly Elizabeth Schroth. Nisha Kamlesh Sheth. Janice Susan Seco. Nancy Nabil Sidholm. Christine Elizabeth Smith. Robin Catherine Smighton. Samantha Lassard Story. Anne Elizabeth Taylor. Lauren Nicole Tousignant. Kristen Jean Trudell. Kayla Marie Tyros. Jane Frances Vigent. Jenna Dawn Vitale. Danielle Mary Walsh. Stacia Jane Whitney. Rebecca Elizabeth Wyant. Selena Ray Acerbi. Kelly Faye Avila. Maxine Elizabeth Berry. Marley Young Berg. Namrata Narindas Bagchandani. Courtney Michelle Bonnell. Laura Elizabeth Bowker. Jamie Lynn Burgess. Megan Patricia Burke. Ashley Elizabeth Campbell. Danielle Marie Karkin. Elizabeth Rose Cromack. Mallory Megan Cusano. Charlotte K. Cutter. Rachel Marie DePalma. Julie Lynn Dewald. Jessica Suzanne Duncan. Heather Rose Falardo. Elizabeth Ann Flores. Ashley Rose Foster. Catherine June Gallica. Kaylee Ryan Garvey. Amy Lynn Gilbreth. Brittany Marie Gorham. Camille Loretta Hamilton. Christine Frances Hanlon. Caroline Elizabeth Hayes. Erin Elizabeth Hain. Jamie Lynn Hill. Brianne Elizabeth Husisian. Meredith Ann Jordan. Angela Lee Canavas. Sandra Sang Kim. Alyssa Ellen Lautenschlager. Allison Lee. Stephanie Alexandra Lucenti. Erin Alicia Lynch. Tracy Ellen McLaughlin. Rachel Lynn Marcotte. Morgan Elise McLaughlin Crespo. Stephanie Ann McNamara. Nicole Lee Melvin. Farah Ahmad Mian. Jessica Michelini. Bridget Ann Morse. Kelly May Pang. Michelle Etta Pare. Linda Helen Rogers. Alexandra Nicole Sekulich. Frances Thea Shelton. Amanda Ashley Shore. Jessica Marie Stewart. Kristen Marie Tingley. Christina Marie Troy. Bridget Lyons Valaire. Courtney Hart Walsh. Cassandra Despina Zuzis.
You'll be saying that in your sleep tonight.
Matthew Tyler Adams. Jesse Stokes Alling. Terrence Keith Amiro. Stephen Walter Badger Jr. Scott Richard Bergeron. Andrew Alexander Bertolami. Michael John Bordini. Scott Gerald Brown. William Francis Busby. John Francis Callahan III. Andrew David Clausen. Justin Dalton Cody. Derek Allen Catoni. Nathan Robert Culinan. Matthew Peter David. Gregory Way Deere. Sean Robert Demora. Nitin Durr. Thomas Anthony DePalma. Alexander Derek Dubois. Sean Larkin Dunn. Aaron Ashley Emmerich. Kyle Matthew Fallier. Brian Patrick Francis. Keith Richard Freitas. Mark Paul Fretwell. Alexander Robert Gentile. Christopher Patrick Greenwood. Zonghua Michael Gu. Sean Elliott Hammond. William Joseph Hampton. Stephen Maloney Harpin. Kevin Wayne Kelleher. Timothy Michael Coy. Kenneth Arthur Lebrecq. Kenneth O'Neill LeBlanc. Andrew Bowen Long. John Corey Lubers. Christopher John Marr. Anthony Donato Marinaro. Timothy Michael McCann. Brian Michael McGinnis. Todd Robert McNiff. Luke Thomas Metra. Brad Thomas Miskowski. James William Mulligan. Matthew James Murphy. Thomas Patrick Murphy. Nicholas Allen Noon. Mitsuru Okano. Jason Hyun Paik. James William Parks. Eric Donald Pichette. Sean Michael Queenan. Andrew Joel Reed. Michael Alfred Roberts. Matthew Bucciarelli Ross. Robert Salvatore Russo Jr. Andrew Michael Santos. Alexander Anthony Slavich. Eric Scott Sullivan. Jeffrey Allen Salton. Patrick Ryan Teehan. Dustin James Travaglia. Brian Patrick Umbarger. Vivek Venugopal. Madison Zunkun Wang. Joshua Caleb Weibley. Clifford George Westland. Stephen David Zukowski. Michael Robert Adamson. William Phelan Andrews. Joseph David Arena Jr. Stuart Mitchell Levy Burke. Thomas Edward Buckley. Bradford Elliott Bustede. Christopher Michael Byrne. Michael Robert Camacho. Ricky Joe Chan. Andrew Hartley Clark. Andrew Cook Curtis. Zachary Alexander Darden. Andrew Spencer Davis. David William DeFelice. Donald Braddock DeMarco. Gregory Kenneth Damaris. Edward Carl DeCroce. Robert Gordon Doris. David James Dowd. Adam Michael Flagg. Kevin Wesley Fletcher. Robert Arthur Forsyth. Peter James Francis. Brian Gary Jarvis. Curtis Michael Gladstone. Joseph Tikkanen Hall. Blair Eli Heffernan. Kevin Daniel Holland. Christopher Michael Hines. Jonathan Michael Kalinowski. Michael Evan Keimig. Michael Owen Kelly. Gotham Killampali. Gabriel James Nell. Thomas Scott Liedberg. Han Sam Lin. Michael Christopher Lubrano. Hui Nop Lu. Owen Kane McKinnon. Alexander Clark Main. Michael Patrick Marr. Gregory Philip Maynard. Christopher Michael McClure. Kyle John McHugh. Douglas John Mondello. Frederick James Morris. Ryan Michael Nazaro. Adam Winslow Nelson. Scott Richard Todd Newcomb. William Charles Price.
Adam, congratulations, pal. Scotty.
Andrew Graham Raisbeck. Justin John Sheehan. Kyle Francis Shockley. Austin Peter Simcoe. Mark Russell Staplin. Michael Joseph Sullivan. Darren Wydat Sang. Garrett Patrick Valcourt. C. Vera Kim. Eric Michael Whites. Gregory Thomas Wellman. Michael Kenneth Weisenberg. Eric Michael Zawada. Nathan Philip Zeminski. Derek Andrew Zwart.
Do you have Foley crossed out? And Gallagher on the next page.
Michael Monroe Almeida. Jason Michael Ash. Neil Alexander Atkinson. Cody Richard Balistreri. Ryan Michael Brogy. Michael Dominic Brown. Daniel J. Butler Jr. David Ha Choa. Joseph Thomas Constantine. Michael Patrick Demmons. Brendan Michael Egan. Jeremy Ryan Ferguson. Michael Martin Flowers. Matthew Joseph Francoeur.
No, Freilic's in. It's Foley who's got it. It's Foley people. Who's Foley?
William Carlton Freilich. Matthew Gary Fuller.
Yeah, no, look at that.
David Stewart Grant. Samuel Ian Griffin. Sean Anthony Hewitt. Ryan Lawrence Howarth. Timothy Allen Ivers. Daniel Philip Jalbert. Alan Lehman Jones IV. Michael Nicholas Costanas. Jared Michael Keogh. Dennis Joseph Kelleher. Gregory Michael Carella. Scott Seth Kurland. Nathan Leo Landry. Patrick Stephen Leonard. Michael Francis Linehan. James Stephen Lucas. Andrew Joseph Maggio. Nathan Michael Martinez. Andrew Stephen McAllister. Thomas Joseph McCabe. Wesley Leo McEnany. Daniel Patrick McGinty. Joshua Brian Mello. Charles Tatulis Mooney. Patrick Joseph Morrison. Jared Alexander Newell. Robert William Normandin. Matthew Salvatore Navaco. Kevin Bradford Ornelas. William Walter Perro. Brian Edward Parquette. Timothy Michael Patno. Richard Thomas Payton. Robert Edward Proscia, Jr. Philip Charles Prutzer. Sean Francis Rannigan. Miles Isaiah Raul Reyes. Edward Francis Rich. David Aram Roderick. Joseph Richard Santangelo III. Keith Michael Jason Shanahan. Matthew Vincent Sheridan. Peter John Shilton. Philip Raymond Slabine. Christopher Michael Sobanek. Matthew David Souza. David Christopher Sullivan. Christopher Kevin Sweeney. Jonathan Stewart Tang Kong. Mark Leo Trahan Jr. Carson Tran. Charles Demetrios Chiklis. Jason Michael Turner. James Richard Ubeli. Spiro Charles Vruis. Richard Benjamin Walworth. Benjamin Ross Westcott. Daniel G. Sup Yoon. James Henry Richard Jr.
Congratulations, nice job.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Proud of you. Nice job.
Thank you. Class turn tassels.